In this section, we're going to talk about areas of triangles. I'm going to give you a different way to find the area of a triangle that may be faster for you, may not be. It's up to you. But instead of trying to find the height of a triangle, drawing a 90 degree angle to the base of the triangle and doing your old 1/2 base times height to find your triangle, there's other ways to do that using trig. And so here's some ways you're going to want to write down. And if you realize what you're writing down, you don't have to copy all three of these down, all three of each of these down. But if we're given a triangle with side angle sides, so we're given two sides and it's included angle. So we've talked about that before. But just to make sure we know what we're talking about, say we're given this side to be 8, this side to be 10, and this side to be 50. This is side angle side. It goes side, angle, side. All right, so if we're given something like that, we can use this formula right here, or these formulas here. And it says area equals 1/2 the two sides that are given to you times the sine of the angle given to you. And that's all you really have to write down. You don't have to write down all three of those. So it's 1/2 times the two sides given to you, so these two sides, times the sine of this angle. And that's it. Easy enough, right? Okay. So now if you're given angle side angle or angle angle side, we can use these formulas. So just in case we know what that means, angle side angle would be, so I know this angle, and maybe I know this side to be 8. So then we can use this this equation, or we could also, if we're given this angle, and we're given this side 8 as well, we could also use this equation. All right, so these equations right here, and again, you don't have to write all these down. Just realize what it's saying. It's saying 1/2 c squared, and this c squared then has to be this side that you're given, the opposite of that side has to be on the denominator. All right, so that angle that's opposite, so like this angle, say this is 30, and this one is 100, so therefore this angle would have to be 50. Okay, so the sine of 30 would have to be down here at the bottom because we know this side. So in here it'd be 1/2 8 squared sine of 100 times sine of 50 all over sine of 30. The sine of 30 would have to be down here because it's opposite. That's what this formula is saying. So again, if you understand or write some notes next to what I'm explaining what I'm saying here, then you don't have to write all three of those down. And it helps you remember those two in a little bit. And the last one, if you're given three sides to a triangle, is called Hero's formula. And all that is the square root of s, which s we have to figure out, and it's very easy to figure out. It's just 1/2 times the side lengths added together. So, like, say we have a side triangle of 3, 5, and 10, right? Which actually can't be a triangle, but if we have this something like this, we would say, okay, 3 plus 5 plus 10 and divide it by 2, and then we can plug that in for s in here. And then we just take s minus the side lengths, okay, inside the square root. Easy enough. We'll go through 3 examples here, one using each one of these kind of formulas here. Number 1 says, find the area of triangle ABC if A is 8.4, B is 10. So first of all, let's figure what they give us. They give us side, angle, angle, or angle, side, anything like that. So I'll label it A, B, and C. Side A has a length of 8.4, side B has a length of 10, and C has a angle measure of 108 degrees. So they give us angle, side, angle, which is that first set of formulas that I gave you. And that was what, 1/2 times AB sine of C, right? Something like that. And so all we need to do is plug that into formula. So 1/2, the two sides that are given to us. So 10 times 8.4 times the sine of the angle that's given to us, 108 degrees. And that'll give us our area. So all we have to do then is type that into our calculator, and we get our area real fast. So we'll just do 0.5 times 10 times 8.4 times the sine of 108. And our triangle has an area of 39.944, in this case, units squared. Okay? Doesn't give us any meters or feet or anything, so it's just units. So number 2 here is saying, find the area for this triangle. Let me draw it over here and label it A, B, and C. This time they give us A is 14.2. Big A is 18 degrees and 50 minutes. Well, I already I divided by 60 already. And that is, let's see, 18.83. So we'll call this 18.83. And then for B, I already divided 18 minutes by 62. So it's 69.3 is that angle right here. So 69.3. So in this case, we have angle, angle, side. That would be the second set of equations that I gave you. If we know two angles in a triangle, we can easily find the third angle by adding these two up and then subtracting from 180. And in this case, if we do that, we get 89.7. All right, so now the trick that I had you look at for remembering this formula, or at least remembering where you need to put stuff, is that the side that we're given, the angle opposite of that has to be in the denominator. So this guy needs to be in the denominator. All right, so our formula reads, I think, 1/2, I don't know, we'll just say a squared times sine of B, sine of C, all over sine of A, right? This is saying that, big A. This is saying that the side opposite and that guy's in the denominator. All right, so all we gotta do is fill in the parts. So it's saying 1/2, the side that we're given is 14.2, 14.2 squared. And then that is times then the sine of these two angles that aren't opposite, so 69.3, and sine times the sine of 89.7. And that is all divided by then the sine of 18.83. All right, and then just to figure this out, we just type it into our calculator, and of course I have it on the wrong side. So we'll say, first of all, we'll go 0.5 times 14.2 squared. We get 102, and we'll take that times, let's see, I'm gonna have to do another parentheses, sine of 69.3 times the sine of 89.7. And that's going to be divided then by the sine of 18.83. And in case you're wondering, my calculator is already in degrees. I checked that beforehand. So hopefully that works out. Okay, so the area of that, it worked out exactly how we want it. If you look up here, it tells me that's exactly what I wanted. As far as it means I typed it in right. So the area of this guy is 292.198 units squared. Okay. The hardest part about this stuff is typing in the calculator correctly. And the last one, I bet you can guess, is going to be Hero's formula. We're given three sides. So we have a triangle. We'll call it A, B, C again. And A is 30, B is 50, and C is 56. And Hero's formula is the area equals the square root of S times S minus A, S minus B, S minus C. And in order to find S, S is just equal to 1/2 times all the side lengths added together. Okay, so if we add all these side lengths together, our S, first of all, let's figure out what S is. We'll have 1/2 times 30 plus 56 plus 50. So we're saying, all right, well, 56 plus 50 is 106 plus 30 is 136 times 1/2 is going to be, let's see here, 68. So S is 68. And now the rest we just need to plug in the formula. So the area equals the square root of 68 times 68 minus 30 times 68 minus 50 times 68 minus 56. And then, so now we have 68 times, let's see, this is 38 times this is, or sorry, this should be 58, my bad. 58, and this is 38. No, that's a 68. Sorry, man, holy cow. This is 18. And this is also 38. Wow, man. Mental math there went away for a second. And then this is 12. And we multiply those two, take the square root. I don't think you guys can do that on the calculator. And I don't need to show you that. One last thing to learn about, this is the last thing in the section, is the segment, how to find the area of a segment. A segment is a region bounded by an arc and its chord. Here is an arc, all right, the arc of the circle. So since we're dealing with arcs of circles, well, guess what? We're going to have to deal with radians, right? Okay, and then a chord is just a segment that goes from one edge of the circle to the other edge of the circle. All right, and that is a chord. That's a chord. So it goes from one edge of the circle to another edge of the circle. So that's the segment. This area included inside here is all a segment. Okay, so that's what we're finding. That's what we're talking about right in there. Okay. So the area of a segment then is 1/2 r squared, so the radius squared, and then alpha, which is your central angle, or you can use theta if you want, which is your central angle here, and then that central angle minus the sine of your central angle, and theta has, or alpha has to be in radians. Okay, we already knew that because we were dealing with the distance around a circle, so we knew we had to be in radians. Okay, so here we go. This is pretty easy, just plug and chug into this. A sector has a central angle of 140 degrees with a radius of 12.5 inches. Find the area of a circular segment to the nearest tenth. We know that this alpha or theta or whatever you want to call it, the central angle here, if you want to call it theta because you know that theta is a central angle, has to be in radians, so we need to change 140 degrees into radians. So in order to do that, we multiply it by pi over 180, right? Cancel out my zeros. I can reduce by 2, so I get 7 pi over 9, right? So my central angle is 7 pi over 9. And then in order to find my area, I'm going to have 1/2 times the radius squared, which is just 12.5 squared. And then times 7 pi over 9 minus the sine of 7 pi over 9. Okay? So we can type that into our calculator pretty easily. We can just type it in exactly how it looks. So 0.5 or 1/2 times 12.5 squared times, let's see, I had to do a parentheses because it's a fraction, 7 pi, I think I have a pi button around here somewhere. Times 7 pi divided by 9 minus the sine of parentheses 7 pi divided by 9, and I better check to make sure that this is in radians before I do this. My calculator better be in radians real quickly. Numbers and angles, not in degrees, it's got to be in radians. We hit enter there, and so we find out that our circle, our segment has an area of 140.68. I hope this helps. Pretty easy. It's just formulas. All you gotta do is plug it in the formula, recognize what formula you need to use. Hope this is easy. Hope this helps. We'll see you in class.